Hey everyone, I'm studying the book of Psalms, and today I'm learning Psalm 20. And the theme of the psalm is that if a loved one or relative is suffering, even in a distant place where one is unable to help, offer this prayer on their behalf. And therefore, many people have said that Psalm 20 specifically is a very good psalm to say for the situation in the Middle East, to bring peace to the Middle East and to end all suffering. One of the commentaries on verses 1 through 2 said that, and this actually comes from the Talmud, were it not for David praying in Jerusalem, Joab, his military commander, would not have succeeded in battle. So even though we are far away, our prayers and our acts of loving kindness and the things that we do matter and have a ripple effect and have unknown positive effects in the world. An additional commentary on verse 2 of Psalm 20 talks about, so the actual verse says, may the name of the God of Jacob fortify you. So the question is, why did they single out Jacob here in this verse? Why did King David refer to Jacob and not Abraham or Isaac? So it says that it's because Jacob suffered more distress than Abraham or Isaac. From the womb, he was already struggling with his evil twin brother Esau, whom he would later flee for his life. And it's interesting to note that Esau was born first and Isaac got the blessing because basically he tricked his brother to giving up his blessing, and he got the blessing from his father, just like the not firstborn Isaac. It's kind of like karma, right? But Isaac didn't do it by trickery, but Isaac got the blessing from his father Abraham. So not always does the firstborn get the blessing of the continuity of the lineage doesn't always come through the firstborn. Okay, so it says, later he would flee for his life from his brother Esau, his twin brother, only to be swindled by Laban. Laban was his uncle who was unscrupulous. He then suffered through the incident with Dinah. Dinah was his daughter who was raped. Just like now in the war, a lot of Jewish women were raped in their homes. And the loss of Joseph. And Joseph was the son of Jacob, who was abducted and sold into slavery into Egypt, just like our Israeli citizens were abducted and they're being held hostage in Gaza. So David therefore prays, may the one who answered Jacob in his time of distress, because Jacob had the most distress of them all, answer you in your time of distress. Just as God strengthened Jacob to withstand the persecution of Laban and Esau, so may he strengthen you to face down your enemies. So then there's some additional commentaries talking about how when we, God's creatures, are in distress, God himself, as it were, is in distress, because we are God's creation and we also have a spark of the divine inside of us. So when we are distressed, God is in distress. When we are in exile, God is in exile. And a lot of these scriptures are predicting that this third world war is going to be the last war and that afterwards there will be peace. And I hope that we live to see that day. It did say that a third world war, it's yet to remain seen what's going to go on with this Middle East conflict, but I do know that missiles have been launched into Israel from both Syria and Yemen. So it does look like additional countries are getting involved, and I know that other countries have sent their military to be stationed on the Mediterranean Sea so that they're nearby and ready to go if and when necessary. I hope that it does not end up being like a huge war with lots of casualties. We want the war to end quickly with the least amount of casualties to any civilian, any human being. It is important to annihilate and neutralize all of the terrorists so that this doesn't ever happen again. So thanks for watching. Remember to pray and do acts of loving kindness because it has a ripple effect, and it can do a lot more good than we even know or are aware of. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.